Com. This is one of our favorite reviews to do. Why? Because we have Enjoy By. This is from Stone Brewing Company. This is actually the first time I've ever gotten it in a 12-ounce bottle. So they just started doing this, I think, 3 series ago, where they put them in 6-packs now instead of the big 22-ounce bomber bottles, which I think is a great idea. It's one of those things where it's a pretty potent beer. This particular one is 9.4% ABV by volume, which is what most of them are. So kind of the history behind this, I'll keep this brief because you notice I don't have an iPad. I always have an iPad with me. This was my #1 beer of 2014. I've had almost every one in the series that we get, so it's limited release depending on where they're going to distribute. They're distributing more than they used to in the past, which is great. This is one of those beers when it first came out that if you weren't there the day it was shipped to the store, you weren't going to get it. It was that high in demand, but now the volume's gone up. It's a enormously powerful double IPA with lots of floral notes to it. It is extremely smooth, very drinkable. I call this beer flat out dangerous. I mean, you can't, there's no booziness to it. It just tastes great. So, anyway, it's meant to be enjoyed fresh. So, as always, created with the date. This is the 7/04/2015. So July 4th. They had a 420 as well. So they're very creative what they do. But it says devastatingly independent. Enjoy, live for the now, the present. So these are all a little bit different. Stone is very secretive about some of the hops they use and the way they brew this beer. And I think that's smart because I think this is something that if other breweries could replicate, they would, because it's that high in demand and it's that good. I mean, like I said before at the beginning of this video, this is my 2014 #1 beer for the entire year. So here again, the recipes vary a little bit. Over the winter time of 2014, there were some that were just insanely floral. And they're all a little bit different, but they're all great. I mean, here at microbeerreviews.com, I rate my beers a 1 and 5. These are always a 5. I mean, it's a must buy. They always have this kind of golden color to them with a little bit of an orange tint to it. They're always very filtered, and as you can see, there's barely any carbonation, but it's coming up. But it's got this beautiful, beautiful, perfectly white, clear, white head on it that you can tell there's like nothing residual in the beer. When you smell it, oh God, it smells good. It is just, it's fresh. You can tell that it's fresh. And I don't want to make this video longer than necessary, but a lot of the beers that are coming out now, especially in the craft beer scene from a lot of the newer breweries, they're trying to manipulate and piggyback with this freshness, but they smell like a lot of the macro beers. You can tell they're putting preservatives in them. You can tell they're cutting corners. You can tell they're using dry hops instead of wet hops. You can tell the brewing process isn't nearly as complicated. When you smell this beer, you can tell whatever they did was on point. It's perfect. It's got grapefruits and lemons and a little bit of pininess to it, but just enough. You can kind of smell a little bit of malt, but not really. You can't smell any alcohol at all, which is one of the amazing things about this beer at 9.4%. There's no booziness to it. The beauty of this beer is once you open the bottle, you smell it, but once you drink it, that's when it gets good. Cheers. Lots of orange in this one. And grapefruit, very, very fruity as opposed to florally. This one is definitely different from some of the other ones. A little bit of grassiness to it, as people like to describe it. Man, it's good. It's just pounds you with hops, and you can tell that there was a very meticulous brewing process in this beer, and I love it every single time. It goes down very smooth. There's no bite at all in your jaw. There's no aftertaste hardly. It just dissipates. It's very dry in the fact that the The flavor will kind of linger at the front of your palate. It's kind of that, what I call that nice little citrus, hoppy note. But I mean, it's just absolutely positively one of the best manufactured beers, period, on the planet right now. Buy it. It's awesome. You will like it. If you like IPAs, even if you don't like double IPAs, this is a must try for everybody. There's no other way to say it. I made this review way longer than I wanted to. This is awesome. Thanks for watching microbeerreviews.com. We appreciate you leaving comments on our YouTube channel. Our website is being updated often now, and we are on Facebook and on Twitter if you want to follow us there as well. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon. Cheers.